Nga tablet. Dami nga tablet. Alright! Welcome back everyone dito sa latest episode ng... Hindi, meron na kami version ni Ronald, the Roar. Roar.
Roar.
Edition. Oo. Ito ano na lang. Ano to? Samahan Ilocano ba ito? SI edition na to. The future is so bright. Kailangan mo naman mag-shades. Kaya marami tayong pag-usapan, bro. Ito. Oh, di ba?
Asa ka ba ngayon kasi? Ano ka, saan?
Siyempre, ano pa rin ako, Don pa rin ako. Binibili ko yung mga souvenirs ng mga kaibigan natin. Nakikialam na nga ako pati sa politika sa Oxford Union. Alam mo naman
May,
ako,
may, may
it's just,
regalo raw ako kay Richard Hendarian for my birthday, Oxford
oo,
Union.
special.
Ano
Tsaka
eh.
bro ha, huwag kang magtataka. I propose na maggawa ka ng documentary ni Boris Johnson who's oh, I'm so crazy. I'm just doing crazy shit. Like, kanina lang pinag-usapan natin mga projects. In the meantime, namit ko yung mga bata ni Boris Johnson. Can we make a documentary? Ang
Uh,
title is The Velocity of Ego. Like,
uh,
lahat na lang. In 10 minutes, lahat about himself. How fantastic.
yeah,
Wonderful.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Uh,
anyways, Kapsat, marami tayong pag-usapan kasi nagadumat nga tabed na kita nga.
Nakatanda do jacket
Well,
din. Kapay
anya.
pinagkunada. Uh,
Awanin. Okay, ito. Bro, let's get the ball rolling. Kamusta ang Senado in terms of, dahil naglinya na legal luminary ng mga DDS, legal luminary na, actually legal luminary. So nasaan ka dun sa mga nag-argue na may quorum na at legit na? So what is the basis for the argument of Sherwin na he is the rightful, at least, I don't know, temporary placeholder as president who can preside over the Sara Duterte trial. And ano naman yung argument ng kabila, yung mga ating mga legal luminary na DDS, na hindi, quorum 13 dapat, hindi 12, di ba? So, first of all, from a legal standpoint, paki-explain, each of them may ano ba sila? May basihan, merit, or actually pretty straightforward ang legal analysis dito?
Well, ang sinasabi, di ba, ako, favorite case ko to Avelino versus Cuenco. In fact, when dinidiscuss, tinanong ako ni Ed Lingaw nung dati kung wala na ba tayong magagawa kung aresto na dong si Rodrigo Duterte. Nandun na sa Hague, meron pa magagawa, magpa-file pa sila ng cases sa Supreme Court. Sabi ko, I've used the word coercive jurisdiction. Fait accompli na yan. Wala na tayong magagawa kasi Rodrigo Duterte is under the coercive jurisdiction of the ICC. And hence, kahit na ano pang ruling dito sa Pilipinas, wala na tayong magagawa. Yung Avellino versus Cuenco, doon ko nakuha yung konsepto ng coercive jurisdiction. No? Ano sabi sa Avellino versus Cuenco? For purposes of counting quorum, dahil the Senate is envisioned to be a continuing body. Pansin mo, di ba, 12-12, 12, 12. 'Di ba? Hindi pwede, ibig sabihin kahit na mawawala yung 12, mag-e-election, gagraduate na sila, may 12 pa rin senador eh. Why? Because the Senate is a continuing body. In fact, kaya ka nga, pag diyan ka nga na contempt, nakakulong ka pa rin. No? Pursuant to the case of Arnold versus Nazareno, ang pinagkaiba, kahit nagre-rest yung Congress, ang nagpa-contempt sa iyo Senate, dahil continuing body siya, nakakulong siya. Sa House of Representatives, pagka pinakulong ka doon, pagka nag-end na yung Congress, pwede ka na makawala sa contempt powers. Sa Senate, hindi. Matindi ang contempt powers ng Senate versus sa kaso ng Arnold versus Nazareno. Bakit? Continuing body siya. Nakakulong ka pa rin. So, the Senate is envisioned to be a continuing body. And hence, hindi dapat nawawala ng Senado. In the same manner na kung may mangyari na kahit ano, for purposes of quorum, may tinatawag tayong constitutional majority. Magkaiba po yung magka-election kayo ng class officers, mag-election kayo ng board of directors. Iba yung quorum ng shareholders, simple majority. 50% plus 1. Pero ano yung base? Yung total number of shareholders, yung total number of members of the class, yung total number of members of your organization. Sa Senate po, ang may tinatawag silang constitutional majority. Ibig sabihin, ang pwede lang makount doon sa majority dahil nga ang envisioned na ay hindi tayo pwede mawala ng Senado kahit anong mangyari is, ano yon is kung sino ang pwedeng isubject sa coercive powers. Sabi nga ni Marcoleta, kung maalala mo, Richard, di ba? Nung nag-walk out yung minority, pwede nga namin sila pahuli eh. Tama yon. Tama yon. Yun yung tawag coercive jurisdiction, no? Ibig sabihin, kung hinuli mo, madadala mo kasama sa quorum. Pag hindi mo mahuli, hindi mo madadala, hindi kasama sa quorum for purposes of counting a quorum, no? So, i-analyze natin itong si Jinggoy Estrada. Sabi ng kahit na sino nandun sa plenary, pahuli niyo si Jinggoy para mabilang siya dito. Pupunta kayo Sergeant at Arms, suhulihin siya. kahit na anong gawing jumping jacks nung sergeant at arms sa labas ng kulungan at magwawala siya doon, hindi siya pakakawalan ng BJMP without a court order. So, ang malinaw doon is outside siya the coercive jurisdiction ng Senado kasi nasa jurisdiction na siya, coercive jurisdiction na siya ng court and kailangan mo ng court order. So, hindi walang magagawa yung Sergeant at Arms. Ito naman si Bato de la Rosa. Hindi hinahanap nga ng buong NBI. Hinahanap nga ng buong kapulisan. Hindi natin alam kung nasaan eh. So kahit ipahuli mo siya sa Sergeant at Arms, kung hindi kaya huli ng Sergeant at Arms, wala siya sa quorum kasi nga hindi pwedeng ma-freeze ang affairs ng Senado. So mababawasan yung base. Hindi ko sinasabing hindi sila senador ng Pilipinas ha. Senador sila. Pero for purposes of counting quorum, hindi sila considered. Pero for purposes of asking, ilan ba senador? 24. For purposes of asking, para kung vacant by seat, hindi vacant yung seat. Senador pa rin sila eh. Pero for purposes of counting quorum, you have to have the ability to go to plenary. Kaya nga doon sa Avelino versus Cuenco, ang sabi, yung nasa abroad, hindi counted for purposes of quorum. Nasa abroad eh, hindi kaya mulihin ng Sergeant at Arms. So hindi counted, ano na po yan ha, doktrina na po yan, hindi po nababago yan. So dahil yung dalawa wala, ano na lang ang count for purposes of quorum? 22. 50% non 11. Plus 1, dahil 50% plus 1 ang quorum, 12. So, sa aking palagay, a simple quorum can transact business. Alam mo ba, Richard? Sipin lang natin to ah. Ang quorum kaya magpasa ng batas which will affect all of us. The most important laws in our country. Are you telling me that for purposes of changing Senate leadership lang na sila maapektuhan? Hindi kaya ng quorum? Pwede. So a quorum can declare all seats vacant. If it can act on something as consequential as voting on the lifting of martial law, or as to ratifying treaties, or concurring on treaties ratified by the president, by the executive, if it can pass bills and resolutions that are of public consequence, of course, it can change its class officers, di ba? Its own officers na hindi naman tayo lahat maapektuhan masyado in a day-to-day basis, di ba? If it can pass penal laws, bakit hindi niya kaya mag-change ng leadership niya? So for purposes of declaring all seats vacant, sufficient ang quorum. For purposes of electing a Senate President, ang nakalagay sa Constitution 13, does that mean na si Alan Peter, senador pa rin? Hindi na. Kasi na-declare na yung seats na vacant eh. Nung quorum eh. Di ba? Kahit na in election ng 13, it does not take 13 to declare all seats vacant. It only takes an act of a quorum and the majority of a quorum. Actually, kung 12 ang quorum, 7 nga can declare seats vacant eh. Kunyari nagbotohan sila doon, di ba? Nagbotohan sila doon, hindi 12 yung 7 lang, motion carried. It's a mere motion, di ba? Of a quorum. So ibig sabihin, it can declare all seats vacant. Ngayon kung gusto nila i-reverse 'yon, sabi ko nga at hindi manalo sila, bring the 13 on the floor. So in any permutation and combination, Alan Peter does not have 13. Hindi ba na siya 13 ngayon eh. Nakakulong na yung dalawa eh. So he can only bring 11 dati. Ngayon, 10 na lang dahil si Chisa Escudero bumaliktad na. So kung Alan Peter wants to stay as Senate President, it's simple. Bring 13 to the floor. So hindi totoo at sinungaling tong si Alan Peter Cayetano para sasabihin niya na there are two Senates. No, there's only one Senate. Ang usurper dito, si Alan Peter Cayetano, because all seats have already been declared vacant and he cannot muster 13 seats to maintain. And in no instance will 10 senators be allowed to dictate on the majority, which is 12. How can 10 be more than 12? They cannot dictate upon the majority. Ang pinag-uusapan lang dito, 10 versus 12 dahil yung dalawa hindi makaboto.
What about, so basically, may distinction dun sa quorum at saka who still counts as a senator or not. So still, Bato is a senator, Jingo is still a senator, right? So hindi na pa sila
Correct.
finalist. Pero iba kasi yung quorum eh. So I think first of all, we have to make that distinction clear. Speaking of yung mga attorney DDS, Dino, ito yung mga, of course, ito mga napakagaling na mga abogado. Sabi nila,
Correct.
yung Cuenco case, ano na yan eh, ibang saligang batas yan, ibang konteksto yan, ibang panahon yan, hindi yan relevant ngayon. So, can you just respond to that? Yung ibang saligang batas ang pinag-usapan natin noon, iba yung konteksto noon.
Well, it's still good law, no? For purposes of quorum, the same pa rin naman. Coercive jurisdiction, it's the same pa rin naman. And walang nakalagay kahit sa ang saligang batas, kahit sa 1987 Constitution, na to remove somebody as Senate President, you need 13. Wala po nakalagay. Kung pakita nyo po sa akin, okay po sa akin. mananahimik po ako dito. But let's start with the text of the Constitution. It states that it takes 13 to elect. But kung gusto pala nila elect and remove, sana nilagay yun ng framers ng Constitution. Ang nakalagay, takes 13 to elect, but it did not say it takes 13 to remove. Therefore, removal is a simple act of the majority. So, it's still good law. Hindi totoo yung sinasabi na hindi na applicable just because 1935 Constitution ng mga oras na yon. Ang dami po nating concepts in constitutional law na nanggaling pa doon sa mga kauna-unahang wala pa 1987
19th
Constitution.
century, US pa nga, di ba? 19th
Oo,
century
di
US.
ba? Ang dami, yung Equal Protection Clause po, alam niyo po, nagsimula po yon. Wala pa po tayo lahat ng Constitution. No, nandiyan na po yung equal protection of the clause equal protection clause of the Constitution and equal protection clause challenges. At isinaside pa po namin mga abogado yan. Wala pa po tayo sa ligang batas. Nandun na po yung mga kaso na yan. Yung Marbury versus Madison nga po, yun pa rin po yung good law doon sa judicial review doctrine. Amerika pa po yun.
19th
Preceded
century.
all our constitutions, di ba? Unang panahon pa nung unang-unang pa noon na nagkaroon ng kagulo doon sa US, good law pa rin po ang Marbury versus Madison. So, hindi po just because meron ng bagong constitution, hindi automatic superseded, especially if the constitutional law question is one that is still applicable today. Case in point, how do you count quorum? May quorum pa rin yan eh. The same quorum pa rin po eh, no? So, alam niyo po yung meron ito, 'di ba? Meron kasing nakalagay dun sa batas natin dun sa plunder law na automatically isipin niyo po suspension and loss of benefits every public officer against whom any criminal prosecution pa lang under a valid information under this act, whatever stage of execution and mode participation is pending in court shall be suspended from office. Nakalagay dito Section 5 po Section 5 of the Plunder Law. Tingnan niyo po mabuti 'yon. So actually, meron ding school of thought na pwedeng sinasabi na as of now, kahit senator siya, suspended siya from executing his functions. The office is still his, pero he cannot execute his functions. So pursuant to Section 5 of the Plunder Law, tingnan niyo po mabuti, talagang hindi siya pwedeng buboto kasi suspended yung functions niya eh. Ako nga, gusto ko nga sabihin na hindi na dapat siya makapagpasa ng mga batas at dapat yung office niya sarhan pursuant to the Plunder Law. Kung plunder ang ikinaso dito kay Joseph Ejercito Estrada.
Very, very compelling attorney. Like, I'm controlling talaga, man. I'm trying to be nice, no? Pero ito naging mandatory na every time na may abogado tayong guest. Except Justice Carpio kasi ko mapahamak siya. Just a reminder, again, ano pong definition ng legal luminary? Kasi kailangan may illumination, di ba?
Correct.
Leading the way, kumbaga at the cutting edge of research. Meron bang kahit isang legal luminary on the other side of this argument, whether it's Mark Oleta, whether it's the attorney DDS bloggers, do they, any of them, starting with Mark Oleta, do they meet the definition, threshold ng legal
Sa akin palagay po hindi.
illumination luminary?
Alam niyo po, hindi lahat ng teacher ay academic. In the same manner, hindi lahat ng abogado legal luminary. Ako, I will not even have the courage to say that I'm a legal luminary. I'm just a practicing lawyer. I will never claim that. No? As a practicing lawyer, that is my legal interpretation. Pagdating din po siguro legal luminary, tingnan nyo naman po siguro kung may Masters of Law, may Doctorate of Law, kung nag-aral ba sa iba't ibang institusyon, ano ba naman, honor student ba naman, hindi yung pasang-awa lang sa bar exams. Maraming pasang-awa sa bar exams. Hindi namin i-claim na legal luminary. Hindi naman ako pasang-awa, no? Pero huwag namin i-claim na legal luminary. We're just gonna say we're practicing lawyers, no? Legal luminary, maraming publications, siguro nagturo, law school deans, law school professors, nag-justices ng Supreme Court. Yan, siguro naman kung 15-20 years kang justice, ang lahat ng klaseng kaso nakikita mo, ikaw nagde-decide ng kaso, ever since, ikaw nag-delay ng doctrine under the wide scrutiny of the legal community and it will become law. Yon, legal luminary yon. Pero yung madaldal lang po at saka minsan sinungaling pa, hindi yung legal luminary, no? Lalo na kung walang publication, lalo na kung walang further studies, lalo na kung hindi honor student, lalo na kung
stop. Yung parang kay Remulla, stop.
Oo, hindi po, 'no. So, tignan natin yung, integrity, legal background, academic achievements, qualifications, including publications, including where saang law schools nagturo, ilan yung in-uphold ng Supreme Court na mga kaso. Sa practicing lawyers naman sa'min, ilan ba mga pinanalo niyan, 'di ba? Ilan ba yung arguments niyan? Does it make sense? Consistent ba with legal principles? Yun. And the only thing that I can claim right now is I'm a practicing lawyer. No, I'm a practicing lawyer and based on my continuing study of constitutional law, malinaw naman sa akin. And then kung bigyan nyo kami ng legal basis, wala. Wala pa ako nakikita kasi kahit na anong citation nung kabilang block May Abilino versus Cuenco dito, constitutional law prescribing how to compute quorum. Wala pa ako nakikita doon sa kabila Wala pa rin ako nakikitang cited legal journal. No, wala pa rin ako nakikitang cited scholarly work, no, na nitong mga ito puro
Hindi
13
counted yung YouTube
13.
views, no? Yung number of
Oo,
views
hindi,
on
hindi,
YouTube.
hindi. Kasi alam mo naman si Jesucristo nga pinako sa krus because of a maddening crowd. 'Di ba? So, hindi porke may maddening crowd, automatically at may maiingay, automatically it's the right thing to do. No? So, in this instance, I think given that Abelino versus Cuenco, I've studied in law school, is present in almost all textbooks in the Philippines. Bernas man yan, Cruz man yan, no? At kung ano-ano pang mga legal constitutional law books, lagi may Avelino versus Cuenco, baka naman it's good law. No, kasi alam mo, nung inaral ko tong Abilino versus Cuenco, meron na namang 1987 Constitution Nandun yan kay Bernas, nandun yan kay Isagani Cruz na mga books, no? Sure ako. At binasa ko yung buong kaso niyan, no? Doktrina yan. May 1987 Constitution and it's still applicable. So wag tayo mag-iimbento na biglang hindi na siya applicable. Inaral yan ng lahat ng law students on the last decade or so.
Pero dahil sa kaso ko sa Supreme Court, nasa jurisprudence. Medyo ano ka na, Supreme Court level ka na, bro. Lagpas
Marami
ka.
naman tayong mga naipanalo sa Supreme Court. Hindi
Yan
ko lang sinasabi, I don't wanna
oo.
claim.
Pero
Tsaka mahirap
dumadami
din
na
kasi na tayo
Dumadami
nag-claim
na
ng
yung mga
legal
kaso.
luminary. Oo, mahirap naman na tayo nag-claim ng legal
Ah,
luminary. Marami rin tayo mga kaso na sinasite, di ba? Pero ayokong i-claim na legal luminary ako. I am a practicing lawyer and I'm it just so happens that in this particular instance, I'm very sure of my opinion. And nothing can change it, not even a decision of the Supreme Court at this point because I've studied this issue. No? I've studied this issue and it only makes sense. Sinabi ko nga hindi ba? Yung Senate is a continuing body tapos papayagan mo mga hostage. Paano kung nag-crash yung airplane ng 12? Paano na yung vision ng Constitution na continuing body ang Senate kahit anong mangyari as much as possible magko-continue ang business ng Senado? Yun yung purpose na kaya siya continuing body of all bodies in our in our constitutional order, it's the Senate that is the continuing body. Okay? Yeah.
Ingat lang ako around this thing. But you don't think na kailangan pa ng Supreme Court ruling on this issue? Or, no, you think this is
I think I'm
clear? So,
confident that if it goes to the Supreme Court, I think they will uphold Avellino versus Cuenco. Kasi it will again it will not make sense na the Senate will be hostage by a few. So kahit na pumunta sa Supreme Court, I'm confident because the legal reasoning here is very clear. And I don't see in any way why somebody who got elected by 13 and then does not have the number anymore should still be Senate President. Tignan mo kung absurd sila, kung in their absurd situation, kung 13, okay, mahuli yung 5 doon, mamatay yung 5, 2 na lang sila magkapatid, isama mo si Ivy Barcos, 3 na lang sila, 12, 15 pa yung senador, siya pa rin na Senate President in his mathematics. Let's push the logic into its absurdity. If removing a Senate President can only be 13, nakuha niya yung 13, 12 pa rin sila, ano sila ngayon, 12 sila ngayon, 11 lang sila nung una, right? Naging 12 na sila, pero nabawasan ng 2, namatay lahat yung mga yon, 2 na lang sila magkapatid. Senate President pa rin si Alan Peter. Hanggat hindi lumilipat yung kapatid niya. Push their logic to its absurdity, it really does not make sense, di ba? So no, it does not take 13 to remove a Senate President, not in that particular instance wherein 15 na lang silang senador, dalawa na lang sila magkapatid na niniwala sa kanila, 'di ba? Nakakulong yung isa. Wala
Ang
na?
problema
Wala
ko
na?
is what if the logic itself is absurdity? You don't need. Yan ang problema ko sa DDS block eh. Parang
Yeah.
the logic itself is absurdity. Yun ang operating ano
Yeah.
nila, algorithm nila eh.
Yeah.
Kaya
Pero paano
nahihirapan
yun, di
ako.
ba? Dalawa na lang sila magkapatid ang naiiwan sa kanila. Pero hindi pa rin makamuster ng 13 yung kabila. Siya pa rin na Senate President. Di ba? What kind of Senate is that? What kind of leadership is that? Sabi ko nga kay Alan Peter, di ba? Alan, kung meron ka 13, bring them to the floor. And this will all be over.
Speaking of the Senate, kasi bago natin pag-usapan kung kailangan pa i-abolish yan. So, basically, Cheese is now a bayani, no? Because marami naman nagagalit sa akin after binash-bash ko yung mga galing ni Cheese talagang para sa bayan niyang ginawa niya na parang medyo ang tagal lang yung para sa bayan move niya. So where do we put Cheese into the context? Kasi mukhang may rebranding na nangyari as we speak.
Oo, sa akin, di ba? Yung nangyari nga nung EDSA 2, EDSA 3, at saka naalala ko pa, tingin mo ba yung ginawa niya doon sa fourth with? Kaya tayo nasa problemang ito dahil hindi niya finorth with, right, to begin with. Tsaka sabi ko nga ganyan na makababa yung standard natin na yung pumapasok na dapat na pumapasok,
Bigyan ng
biglang
Medal
hero
of
na.
Honor na kagad.
Oo.
Para
First
payaso.
honor, valedictorian, pumasok. Perfect
Oh,
attendance. Hindi nga
kahit hindi
perfect
siya
attendance,
nag-attend ng
pumasok
4 years, kahit di siya nagbayad ng tuition, basta yung huling graduation ceremony,
graduation.
bigyan ng honors si Kuya.
'Di ba? Tapos siya na yung may standing ovation. Kalokohan, 'di ba? Kalokohan. So, sabi ko lang, we recognize the fact that probably whatever his considerations may be, and I'm sure it's political and not really statesman. I don't think
Is it
he
just
meant it for
political
that.
or legal also considering medyo
Political and legal,
alanganin
kasi
siya?
kasuhan siya, I'm sure there was a trade-off. I'm sure there was a trade-off. I don't trust Chis Escudero. No one should, no? And whatever that trade-off it may be, the fact of the matter is pumasok siya, nabuo yung 12. 'Di ba? So, okay na yun. Okay na sa akin. I'll take that. I'll take that. Pero hindi maka-cancel out sa akin lahat ng mga kawalang hiyaan niya. At saka hindi ako kumbinsido na kailangan iboto pa ulit yan bilang senador.
Kung si Cheese ay hindi bayani, hindi pa bayani, um, where is Robin Hood in all of this conversation? I mean, technically
Ayun,
ex-convict,
pinailan
di
ko ng
ba?
obstruction of justice last week.
Yeah, I mean, can you tell us about it? Hindi, I mean, okay lang ba na tinulak-tulak niyang binadboy lang niya si Ramuli? Like, my God,
Iba pa yon, no?
like,
Pero assault yun, di ba? Direct
what the
assault yun.
heck? I
Pero
mean, anong klaseng bansa na ginaganon lang yung sekretarya na nag-Superman mode si Kuya?
bakit
Oh,
kasi
but
yung
let's talk about
Secretary
it.
of Justice, bakit kasi nandun si Remulla, no? Talaga tutulakin siya dun. Hindi ko maintindihan kung ano rin pabida yun eh. Anyway, di ba? Ang
Kasi nga
laki-laki ng muscle
binash-bash
niya dun.
natin siya on Bato, which is what you're gonna talk about on the obstruction of justice. So yung sinasabi niya na nakisakay lang naman si Bato, wala naman siyang active participation, kawawa naman si Bato, hindi yan obra as
Siya nagtakas.
inosente
Baka
siya.
maiba eh. Siya nagtakas eh. Paano naka-custody kayo, umalis, sinakyan ka, lahat aiding and abetting a fugitive, di ba? Yan yung obstruction of justice kasama yan sa definition, aiding and abetting. So, malinaw sa akin tong si Robin Padilla, no? Na kasama, di ba? Apart from the fact, like ko ang sinasabi, hindi aral, kulang sa talino, nagmamatigas, pero hindi bagay, no? Hindi bagay, talagang talagang para sa akin, 'di ba, kung kulang manahimik na lang. Manahimik na lang. And kaso ito ang lakas pa rin ng loob no. Tapos wala naman yung loyalty niya sa bayan, puro Duterte lang ang pinoprotektahan no. So deserve na matanggal na yan sa Senado, deserve na yung ma-file niya ng obstruction of justice case at sana at susunod rin namin yung ethics complaint.
Wait lang, baka wala nang matira sa Duten.
Tapos
Kasi
sila pa rin, tapos hindi mo pa rin pwede tanggalin si Alan Peter under the Fury, yung kahibangan nila. Kahit nadadalawa na lang silang magkapatid.
magkapatid
Hmm.
na lang kasi as
Magkapatid
we
na lang.
speak, alanganin si
Oo.
Joel. Pati si
Oo.
Marcoleta not necessarily in the most fertile Lily's land. So, and then
Yeah.
ito si Solar Mommy, 'Di ba? Parang in-implicate pa yung ano ba nangyari diyan sa ex-Marines na yan? Is that a coordinated mistake? Ano ba nangyari diyan? What is
Di
going
ba
on?
kalokohan yung 18 Marines na yan, biglang si Loren Legarda, sinabi ko saan mismo deliver yung pera, tapos di na raw kasama, nagkamali na nung sinabi namin dapat makasuhan siya kasi tinawag niya ng bayani. Ibig sabihin, ina-acknowledge niya na itong mga testimonya na ito totoo. Na-implicate siya. So kalokohan, tapos bilang tinawag niya ng bayani. Si Mark Villar, di ba? Sinabi, si Mark Villar, accurate yung sa kanya. Di ba? So actually, binaril nila yung sarili nilang kalyado na naman. Right? Oo. So, yan. And then, dinamay si Laila de Lima, hindi naman congressman. Dinamay si Tito Soto na hindi naman senador. Na supposedly, flood control ba itong lahat ng mga ito? Paano magiging kasama si Laila de Lima kung flood control na hindi naman siya senador? Talo nga siya at ang tagal niya nang wala at nakakulong pa siya. Paano siya naging involved doon sa mga insertion na yan? Kung ang participation supposedly, hindi nga siya maka-insert. Wala nga siya sa deliberation. Paano nga, hindi ka maka-attend eh. Nakakulong eh. So, kalokohan. Tapos dinamay nila yung pari na may vow of poverty, 'di ba? So malinaw din na kasinungalingan 'yan. So so 18 sinungaling sila kasi to begin with hindi pa sila Marines. Not all of them, a lot of them, most of them were dishonorably discharged if they're from the Marines. A lot of them not even affiliated with the Armed Forces of the Philippines whatsoever. And then clearly, hindi nila alam yung testimonyo nila, mas kabisado pa ni Marcoleta. Tapos, kino-coach na nga ni Marcoleta, rehearse na nga, kino-coach pa. So malinaw talaga sa akin na and then logistically impossible and nightmare lahat. 'Di ba? Hindi talaga posible kahit magdili lang tayo ng 100,000 isang bundle ngayon, it will take us around 30 seconds to 40 seconds mabilis ka na nun. 'Di ba? Tapos kung bibilangin mo lahat 'yan, 100 metric tons ng pera, alam mo bang ano na 'yon? 80 or 90% na yun ng total money na umiikot sa buong Republika ng Pilipinas in terms of liquidity of money. Nandun lahat. At ang nakakaalam lang, walang iba nakakaalam. Yung 18 Marines lang. Hindi alam ng CIA, ng international community na nagmo-monitor ng liquidity ng money and flow of money simula noong September 11 attacks. Hindi nila alam lahat yan. Hindi alam ng ISAF, hindi alam ng ating own intelligence units. Ang nakakaalam lang yung 18 sinungalings, di ba? It does not make sense. And then, kahit na magsalansan sila, magbubuhat sila ng ganyang kabigat na pera, hindi pa sila tapos. Mag-packing pa lang at delivery pa lang hanggang 2028, kahit na 24/7 sila nagtatrabaho. Ganyan po karami yung pera na pinag-uusapan na yan. Para po doon sa mga nagbabiyahe, sa isang maleta po, ang kakasya lang po doon, around 23 kilos, 23 million lang. Swerte ka nang makakuha ka ng 25 million doon. Alam nyo naman yung weight, di ba? Pagka magta-travel kayo. Paano magkakasya yung ganung karaming pera na binilang na, sinalansan na, nilagay na sa bundle para siguradong 100,000 lahat yun at walang nung mineknak, that presupposes pa na 1,000 lahat ha. Eh gaano ba karami 1,000? Sa merkado natin ngayon, di ba? Kung gano'n ka pala karami 1,000 na pwede makuha kung saan saan eh, di sana madali ang pera, di ba? So, I doubt na yung 800 billion na 1,000 lahat yun. Siguro may tigpa 500, di ba? Sa total circulation of money. Kasi nga, ang sabi, sa total circulation of money raw, around 80% na raw itong pinag-uusapan na amount, yung 800 billion. So, alam niyo po talaga, pasensya na po kayo, hindi po talaga nag-make sense. Logistically, it is impossible. It is a fairy tale and it is impossible, ang nakakaalam lang yan, yung 18 sinungalings and no one else.
Parang ang dami natin mga Disney characters, no? Bubble gang na talaga yan. So before we go to the last ending part of this discussion na mapahamak na kita dahil balik na naman ako sa Riza, Lenny, kasi nag-Riza na yung ibang kampo eh. Yan na naman tayo, papahamak na naman ako dyan. May pag-asa ba tong Senado na to or i-abolish natin? Kasi parang gusto ko na mag-Prime Minister eh. Let's just have one, ano na lang, Parliament.
Well,
Parliament.
there have been numerous instances that the Senate has been the last bastion of our democracy. And I would say just because if we call on the abolition of the Senate right now, I think we have to also remember and take into consideration the numerous instances where it was withheld the line. No? So pag-isipan natin mabuti yan, malalim na diskusyon yan.
Parang
Ayoko lang na
with all due respect, parang medyo ano yan, medyo ancient history yata yan. Like, medyo,
ayoko lang
I'm
na
beginning to forget that Senate. Like, nasaan na
Oo.
siya?
Ayoko lang na just because of all of these bad apples na ang dami-dami nila ngayon, nakuha nila yung gusto nila na ma-abolish siguro yung ganyang institusyon. There were better days. So in the overall evaluation, I can see the argument why a parliamentary system works. Correct. Don't get me wrong. I'm in fact an advocate of a parliamentary system wherein the prime minister must defend his or her
Oo,
policy and his administration every single time. There can be a vote of no confidence every week if you would
patanggalin na
want
yan.
to.
100%.
And then all the discussions are happening in parliament. There are no co-equal branch. There's no another body that might have a different opinion, diba? Everything's the watch of the parliament. The executive and the legislative are fused into one body working directly together para maiwasan rin yung power struggle na yan na politika, di ba? And then the majority government is able to forward its agenda. There's an opposition who's scrutinizing it. And if the majority government fails to deliver and does not and has a very bad track record, there's a vote of no confidence, or you can dissolve parliament and we can call an elections. But if it's doing very well, then it can continue being in power and continuing its work and policies, di ba? So, and ultimately you convince the people. Ang ganda ng parliamentary system, and I think it suits us as well, no? So if you will ask me, and this is just my opinion, of course, I think a parliamentary system works. Unicameral parliamentary system works, and I can defend it in any debate.
Yeah, we just do it better than Marcos namin. Kasi kanina lang na-post ko this morning, no? Yung screenshot ng yung newspaper clipping kay Jovito Salonga na when he won the top prize, yung Andrew Cotier Prize sa Yale, no? For the best paper. By that time, he was already finishing his PhD in law at Yale, had his Harvard Law School masters. 27-year-old lang at he will be topping the Senate 3 times. What happened? What happened? Bro, what happened? Ano nangyari sa atin?
Sa Senado natin,
Yeah, like how did we go from that to Bad Boy 3
oh,
to ano,
si Jokno, if you would recall, what is the only person until now, the only
na
person
top
until
both
now.
law and accounting na hindi pa nagtapos. He
Correct,
didn't even
oo.
finish his
Pero summa cum
schooling.
laude. Summa cum laude naman
Talagang
siya nung
genius
undergrad,
talaga,
oo.
no?
Oo. Nagkagera nga lang, 'di ba? Yung ganyan mga klaseng tao, 'di ba, na napakagagaling. Well, kasi may mga taong iniisip na legal luminary si Marcoleta at saka si Robin Padilla. Siguro that's what happened, no? So I think si Robin Padilla, di ba, naging chairperson pa. How can you have the gall and the audacity to chair the Senate Committee on Constitutional Amendments, di ba? Kung ganyang klase ka, di ba? So sa akin, siguro yun yung dahilan. And that means na baka nga kung nagiging consistently, nagiging playground ng mga clowns and artista ang Senado, baka it's high time to also consider the abolition of that body, 'di ba? And anyway, duplication lang din naman. Hindi ako nakakita ng any job of the Senate that can't be accomplished by the House or by a parliament. It can be accomplished by just one body.
And let's go to the last part of this discussion. So helpful ba itong sinasabi na reason na and all of that? Like what's going on here? Kasi ang dami nagre-react whenever I post na 30% ang makukuha ni Risa sa mga surveys. Actually, 2 surveys have come out. One is WR Numero. The second is the one by Magdalo na show actually Risa can get close to around 30% in a head-to-head against Sara. But of course, she still loses with a significant margin. I don't know bakit apektado mga DDS. Kasi actually, the 2 surveys show malakas talaga si Sara. And still Lenny and arguably even Bam could be more competitive. But nevertheless, parang very touchy itong issue na ito. Bakit napaka-sensitive ang tao? Hindi ko pa nga na-interview si Risa. I think not even once na-interview ko si Risa ever. Ever. I
Well,
think
may
I
kausap
haven't
ako kanina. Naiinis din kasi sabi niya at a time wherein we should be united kasi pagdating sa ganyan who's gonna be president is of course polarizing. 'Di ba? Even within our ranks, even within our ranks is a touchy subject. So I think yun yung kinaiinisan. And syempre may mga taong hindi sold even within our ranks. So I understand that. Pero gusto ko lang siguro silang kausapin ngayon at sabihin and ask put yourself in the position of Risa. And as somebody who was anointed as the leader of the opposition, ano bang duty niya? Di ba ang duty niya kung hindi naman nagde-declare si VP Lenny is to prepare. She is preparing. And her camp is launching a Rizada movement. Isn't that moral duty? Isn't that obligation on their part? Kesa wala nagpe-prepare? Don't get me wrong. I think VP Lenny should be the candidate. I think VP Lenny should consider running. I think she's best fit. I think she has the strongest chance. But while VP Lenny hasn't decided yet, what do you expect Risa to do not to prepare? She has to prepare. She has to consolidate her forces. She has to show that the opposition is really willing to take on the challenge of trying to put a contender that promises a better future for everyone. So, ako naiintindihan ko why Risa's camp has to do it, why Risa herself probably gave a go signal because that is her duty. And I would like I admire her more for recognizing that duty. 'Di ba? Duty above everything. And as the leader of opposition, sa kanya binigay yung baston, siya yung pinakamatagal na senador ngayon, 'di ba? I understand that Bam and Kiko are already there, but Risa was there first and she's the most senior compared, 'di ba, to them at this stage in terms of unbroken, 'di ba? Kasi si Kiko na break eh. Although si Kiko yata ang pinaka-senior kasi third termer siya. Nonetheless, no, si Risa yung pinakamatagal ngayon, di ba? Na 12 consecutive years, not Bam, not Kiko. And considering that seniority at siya yung she assumed the de facto leader of opposition while Lenny is in Naga, I think she is doing only her duty to prepare the opposition and to at least say there is somebody willing and able. Ang fairness forecast ko naman, kung mag-declare si Lenny, Risa will give way. But if Lenny does not declare, then at least Risa said, we are ready to take on and somebody will be the leader of the opposition. It will not be a leadership vacuum. So I admire that. Sabi nga namin sabi nga ng Liberal Party, we support that. 'Di ba? We support the fact na kung hindi mag-decide si VP Lenny, then we can consolidate behind Risa. But don't need to bash Risa, 'di ba? Risa is doing her duty pursuant to where she is right now and her position as de facto leader of opposition.
Yeah, I just find it a little bit wag na lang hypocritical, inconsistent na back in the day sinasabi nila, I mean, what was Lenny at this point before 2022, di ba? 3%, 5%, di ba? It's not the numbers, we'll make it work. And then now suddenly, no, let's play safe and all of that. And at the same time, hindi naman talaga natalo si Lenny noong 20, like, di ba? Ang sinasabi lang natin, we have to have multiple options, whatever Lenny chooses. But
Intramurals pa lang, wala naman tayong kinokoronahang reyna eh. Hindi pa naman
But,
reyna
but
si
I think that's
Risa.
what some people want. The basically anointed na
Hindi.
dapat para
Demokrasya po
mag-consolidate
tayo. Wala
tayo.
tayong kinukoronahang reyna. Kahit si Risa, hindi pa kinukoronahang reyna. Si Denny, hindi rin naman natin kukoronahang reyna. If they're both viable come 2020, by the time of filing, then we really have to engage in debate. Di ba? Eh kung si Laila, magkakuha rin ng ganung amount, di ba? Kung mag-declare siya ngayon, edi kung pare-pareho sila, it's an intramurals. And then, whoever we
Na hindi
pick,
divisive.
na hindi divisive. And if ever we pick, we all consolidate. Kaya nga wag niyong tirahin si Risa, 'di ba? Kasi kung baka naman there will come a time na tira kayo ng tira diyan ng hindi maganda tapos it will be impossible for you to support her. She's a very good choice. I would surely be happy under either a Risa Hontiveros presidency or a Lenny Moreno presidency. I just think right now Lenny is still best fit to be president of the republic. That's I think overall, no. Meron siyang legislation, meron siyang executive as mayor. And I think that is a very strong 'di ba? May legislation siya, may executive siya as vice president, may mayor siya. Sa akin palagay, mas
O lalo,
holistic.
executive kasi yung president. You're right.
Correct. Mas holistic yung yung track record ni Lenny. Maganda yung track record ni Risa. Meron siyang, 'di ba, nag-ano rin naman siya, nag-executive position, board member siya. Pero board member yun, parang legislation yun, policy making yun eh, 'di ba? Pero si Lenny nag-mayor, nag-vice president at the time of Duterte, 'di ba? At nag-legislator rin as well and a prolific legislator at that, no. So okay sa akin, mas stronger candidate sa akin, and at the same time the numbers are there. Feeling ko rin mas consolidated. Pasensya na, alam ko naman mas consolidated yung supporters ni Lenny Robredo, no. Kaya ako for Lenny, pero I see the moral justification and why it is the duty of Risa to do that, and I support that. So either way, both of them are the Philippines and the Filipino people will be lucky to have them, either one of them as either president, as president, no. So okay, suportahan natin yung mga yan, no. Suportahan, hindi natin kailangan maggawa ng artificial na away.
I prefer that kind of argument in favor of Lenny kaysa yung argument na "Ay, hindi wala naman si Risa, hindi naman charismatic yan si Lenny." Like, but what was Lenny in 2015 when she was running against Bongbong Marcos, right? And then we supported her because of her merit, because of what she stood for. And next thing
Correct,
you know,
correct.
she's highly charismatic leader, globally renowned. I see people from Singapore to Europe, they love Lenny, etc. Pink movement lahat. So I just don't buy that argument. Ay, wala talang charisma yan. Like, hello, I mean, those are things that kaya nga meron tayong
Pero
campaign
hindi mo pwedeng
na
sabihin yun kay Risa na walang karisma eh. Sino, natalo tayo lahat. Nanalo siya nung
twice.
2022
Yeah,
na
2016
senador.
and
Hindi,
2022.
tsaka, di ba, 2022, lahat nung kala mo may karisma doon. Sila Dick Gordon, di ba? Sila Sonny Trillanes. Ang lalakas sa mga karisma naman, lalakas sa mga dating. Talo naman lahat. Si Risa nanalo eh. So, huwag yung sabihin ko lang karisma. Di ba? Meron. Meron. She's nice. She's pretty. Di ba? She's always above board. Okay, si Risa eh. Di ba?
Competent, definitely
Competent,
competent. Yeah.
intelligent, brilliant. The Philippines will be lucky to have her. In the same manner that I think the Philippines will, sorry, but this is my assessment, is even luckier to have Lenny because of her experience in local executive governance and even as Vice President of the Republic, di ba?
Pwede ka pala mag-spokesman eh. Medyo ka, oh, okay na yan. Pero, pwede rin. So, to close this discussion,
Pareho ko silang ninang Richard. Pareho ko mahal yung dalawang
ayan
yan.
na style. Kaya nga pinicturean ko siyang lahat, tapos nalaman ko, andun pala si Bam and Kiko at the back. What a coincidence, right? And pwede silang lahat. Actually, anyone in that picture for me, okay yan.
Yeah,
Kiko,
yeah.
Bam, all of them. Of course, yung idol natin, si Senator De Lima, lahat yan, idol natin.
Yeah.
All of them will be better. Having said that, the Tulfos have really strong momentum here. I think Erwin is really positioning himself at the very for VP. In some of the head-to-head, actually, Tulfo now is even ahead of Sara Duterte, or statistically tied, so it puts him even ahead of Lenny, for sure. One argument is that kung hindi tayo mag-unify around the most competitive, not necessarily the most competent candidate from the progressive pink side, kakainin ng mga Tulfos yung lunchbox. Would you be comfortable with the Tulfo presidency or a Tulfo administration? Like, what about that prospect? Because it's very, very real as we speak. And Erwin is not wasting time, and Rafi is also making his presence felt.
Yeah. Ang sabi mo nga kanina, Richard, di ba, we don't buy arguments based on, hindi yan mananalo dahil sa numero. Ako rin kasi hindi ko din binibili ka agad yung argumento na mananalo yan dahil sa numero. Ako kasi the first thing that I'll have to take a look at is what's your track record? What are your qualifications? Do you have any integrity issues? No? Can I just say that I'll be more comfortable with Lenny or Risa Ontiveros presidency. I am not foreclosed to the possibility of entertaining the Tulfos over and above other choices like Sara Duterte. So sa akin naman kasi, di ba, I cannot compare everyone to the Almighty. Compare them to the alternative. And if the alternative is a Sara Duterte, I'll campaign and vote for the Tulfos anytime. Diba? Pero if there are other alternatives anyway, like Risa and Lenny, I'd work hard to fight for them para lang hindi ko makompromiso yung tingin kong tama. Pero kung wala naman ako iba alternative, hindi Tulfo, suportahan ko yun. Pero sa akin, kung may alternative, willing naman sila tumakbo, I will put my eggs on that basket because sabi ko naman, di ba, ako lang naman siguro ito, di ba? Sa akin, habang humihingi ako, mas mabuti na nag-aspire ako kaysa binenta ko yung pangarap at aspirasyon ko. So, mabuti na yun. Lalaban ako doon sa aspirasyon at pangarap na yon kaysa binenta ko at nag-give up na ako eh. Di ba? So, sana lang may ibang alternative. Pero kung walang ibang alternative, I'll support them.
Wow, talagang ready na to be ha? No, thank you so much, brother. I really appreciate it. Actually, there were a couple of very good questions asked dun sa mga kaibigan natin. Thank you so much for everyone because I posted earlier about our interview at nagtanong sila a couple of people, very, very good questions. Si Malu Jokno asked a question about dun sa 3 consecutive absences sa Senado. You had Riz Ani, a couple of people are asking questions. But at saka yung kung pwedeng kasuhan si Robin Hood Padilla dun sa kanyang obstruction of justice. So in a way, I think we have covered all of those things. No? So thank you very much for those questions na rope in natin dito sa thread ng ating back and forth with my kapsat. So thank you very much for joining this latest episode ng Samahan Ilocano. Ayan naman tayo.
Baka
After
naman
all
gusto mo
the
na
patriotic
bumalik. Ang
discussion.
sobrikan, anyakit din, dapat
Mas
ikukwem
pasak.
ta.
Naginam at ticket na to. At this time talaga, totoo talaga na
Hana
wala.
ka mamati.
Well.
Hana ka mamati,
Agawid
di
ako.
sausaw M.
Agawid ako, kapsat.
Agawid kan.
When, kapsat.
From the
Yeah.
SEM.
When, Manong. When, Manong. Happy birthday,
Ikaw ti Manong,
Manong.
anak, anak.
When, Manong.
Okay.
Happy birthday
Okay.
and God bless and talk to you soon in person. Kapsat,
See
God
you
willing.
soon. Okay.
Have a lovely day.